So a release went out. Then another release went out. In the first release that went out, there was a line in the release from Josh Brown in which he says, "I never physically harmed my wife." All right?
Right.
An hour or so later, the next release goes out from the New York Giants officially. That line is taken out.
Wonder why that was. Why would you try to,
Well, they believe he did physically harm his wife, right? Now, he might put one out saying, while I was abusive, it was not physical. They did not allow that line to stay in. So they've gone from, we got his back, we got his back, we got his back, to, listen, we're apologizing for our role in this as far as not cutting him right away, but that line's coming out. Because that line's bogus.
The interesting thing, last night on Showtime, we had Judy Batista kind of explaining, what kind of situation this thing kind of unfolded.
Tell people who Judy Batista is.
Well, Judy Batista, she covers the NFL, former New York Times football writer, and now she's a football correspondent for the NFL Network, for also NFL.com. And then she's also kind of like a contributor and goes on air with us every now and again in situations like this to kind of explain the way this whole thing went down in terms of the investigation and everything. And I thought the thing that she really kind of shine a light on is just how difficult it is to get the answers that you're looking for. So, the NFL, you can say whatever you want about the Giants, but the NFL is the body that investigates these things for the teams. It's not just, we all go back to what John Maris said last week with Mike when he said, look, bottom line is he told us he abused his wife. We just didn't know what to extent, as to what extent. That itself is troublesome.
For sure. It shouldn't matter what extent.
So, so the Giants do hold a responsibility there, and John Maris certainly, I think, came out yesterday and said we accept the responsibility. Now, what that means, and in terms of accepting responsibility, I have no idea. But she was talking about last night just how hard it really is in situations like this to determine, what's domestic violence, what's a family argument, what is, what is all the different things that people like Lisa Friel and the people that are in charge of that aspect of it from the NFL are dealing with,
right?
And they do in the NFL in two different ways, and two different people tried to contact the sheriff's department out there, and the sheriff can say whatever he wants. They actually tried to,
right?
And and I think most law enforcement people are not going to be giving up case files that are still open.
He said as much, right? He said they could have told me that they were the Pope. I wasn't giving them anything.
So I know we all sit here at the end of the day that the Giants, with egg on their face, ultimately got it right.
Yes, Josh Brown is no longer a Giant. He claims he's now going to dedicate himself to being a better man and all the other stuff. Let's hope that he does. We've witnessed other people do that and make amends or try to make amends for their actions, but the story finally comes to an end, and the only way the story could come to an end, Josh Brown is no longer a member of the NFL. He's no longer a member of the Giants. John Maris says, quote, "We believed we did the right thing at every juncture in our relationship with Josh. Our beliefs, our judgments, and our decisions were misguided. We accept that responsibility. Period. Stop." Everyone gets their pound of salt and blood, and now the Giants move on in a bye week. Probably a good time for a bye week for them. They'll come back out of the bye week with a huge game against the Eagles, and that'll become the focus of Giant football.